or his stature. Even in the Bible, the woman brings the fruit of knowledge, and we understand thus why the church has done everything to gag women. The same thing is happening today with the modern religion. Modern psychology now shows the biological mother as a potential threat to the child. This is also why we hear so much about pagan witches being burned alive. They tried to keep and preserve the traditions, and, responding to their deepest instincts, keep them as they were, and until death. These were women who retained the ancient tales of Europe and all the European traditions, telling them to the children and others from generation to generation without losing a word. These were the women who always decorated the house for Yule, and it is they who still do so today. These women who, for millennia, prepared the same honey cakes for the festival of Yule. Do you think this is only some of the details? In fact, it is not, because these details, and almost only these details, give us the opportunity to go back to the Stone Age, until the oldest religion, until the truth of our forebears. The writing was also a way for the church to control what was told in the family. By developing books through the monks, the church sent finished stories ready to read and retell. Rather than telling traditional stories, we ensured that families, and especially women, read the prescribed stories. It became common to read the Bible in the evening. Writing, which is considered a male thing, appeared with the extinction of a woman's duty. The classic European tales got lost when they were written down. Before, there was no need to write them down, as they were told from generation to generation, from women to their children, and from queens to kings. Thus, the book has killed the tradition, and the traditions have attempted to revive in books through men, but told and portrayed by women who still knew them. Of course, the church has always used women to preserve and maintain its own traditions. However, it has never succeeded. Christianity was never entirely Christian, and almost all pagan traditions have been preserved until today, slightly modified and mostly biased, but actually incredibly similar. The woman can take up arms, but will never be equal to the man, as feminists would have liked, but she would only do so to defend the divine and tradition and heritage. This was the case with the well-known Joan of Arc, the modern Antigone, who saved the divine coronation of the right king. She acted, in fact, as regent. Joan of Arc did not respond directly to the church, but to the divine. The queens were patrons. They took care to control and choose the art. The queen had to be from good family and well-educated, not because it was pretty, but because her role was precisely to remember, understand, preserve, control, maintain, and organize traditions. This is also why any noblewoman had to be educated in all of the arts. This is also why they always believed in young maidens, especially virgins, and this is why they could not contradict them. This faith, this love of God, the divine, was none other than a pure instinct dedicated to the past, the ancestors, rules, and tradition. If they were not busy with other interests, love, this instinct was considered pure and divine. The virgins did not hear voices, they met their instinct. The church, by hunting and burning witches, tried during its development in Europe to get rid of the female problem, but it did not succeed. Faced with this failure, it is said women were dangerous. It kept them locked away and silent, and then it tried to make the woman its ally. But for that, the church had to make a huge concession. Christianity was forced to become more European. Today, they have forgotten this, but they, moreover, oppose the woman to the man, and the man to the woman, and they show that the man is a torturer of woman. It is pointed out that the woman was called the weaker sex. Weaker sex, yes, no doubt. It is pointed out that the woman was under the paternal guardianship, and then under the guardianship of her husband. It is a way of seeing. Nobody is under guardianship within the meaning of a slave. They are protected. It is quite different. No, the woman was not a political entity, with few exceptions, who had very specific reasons, or directly traditional, as Joan of Arc. No, she was not made to rule, and yes, she was made to stay behind the man. Who would have put a woman in the front? It is not only an unreliable tactic, it is also a shame. The king is, above all, the army's chief, and a female chief would not have frightened anybody. Of course, the female's passions can directly harm them, and they are often incompatible with war and defense, the role of a king, in which the male passions, anger, are often a direct strength, but in fact, the passions to both sexes cancel and complete when they are joined. The man assures the defense and protection of the past. The woman assures that his anger is headed in the right direction. Indeed, what protects and nourishes the king except his kingdom, his folk, his traditions, and his forebears. The woman takes care of the inside, and the man takes care of the outside. A single being, holding these two qualities at once, would not be so as effective. Today, however, the two entities are lacking. The world is neither male nor female. It is passion, harmful and weak, because both sexes act rather than as allies in tight ranks, are projected against each other, and, in addition, to let their passions escalate, are sublimating them dangerously. It has been removed from the woman her most essential role, to give all her interest to the passions that can attract her. It has been removed from the man his most essential role, to give all his interest to the passions that can attract him. The beauty of the woman and the passion and importance it can have is initially a tool beyond purely reproductive sexual attraction to ensure her protection and attract the love of the past. If this beauty is only used for itself, it is vulgar. Today, only this beauty, which is no longer one, is put forward. The woman should not live according to this beauty, but use her beauty to her essential role. The same concerns anger and ambition, the masculine passions, and the importance it may take. It is initially a tool, too, beyond purely reproductive sexual attraction. Ensure the protection and the defense of his family, his folk, his forebears, and his past. If this anger and ambition are only used for themselves, they are vulgar. Today, only this anger and ambition are put forward. The man should not live according to this anger and ambition, but to use these passions to his essential role. He must be hard and scary, and he must have a beard to show his age and strength, and to not look like a child as they want today. Of course, try to swap the two, as if sometimes the case today is even worse. The man should not be cute. He should not inspire pity. The woman, meanwhile, must never use her attributes to distract men, but rather to guide them. This is why she should not hide herself, but she should never be vulgar. It is terrible to see some fellow Europeans defending the fact that the white woman is first and foremost a so-called free woman, and that she has the right to go around half naked outside if she wants. This is not why we fight. This is not freedom. We are not fighting for what they call progress. We are fighting to save the heart of our forebears. I hope to inspire my sisters, my fellow women. Most of you are very good and beautiful women. Many of you want the men that shall be real men. Again, they just need you to fight. Please, in that dying world, please do your job. Do not let the heart of our forebears be taken from us. Please use your beauty to inspire men. Please pay attention so that the traditions are respected until death. Please, as a woman or a man, share this with a friend as much as you can. The Role of Women by Marie Cachet.
You're listening to Jim Dynamo, the man with the nickel.
Well, Letty, gather ye around, for I would have words with thee. I teach you, the Overman, man is something that shall be overcome. What have you done to overcome him? All beings so far have created something beyond themselves. And do you want to be the ebb of this great flood, and even go back to the beasts rather than overcome man? What is the ape to man? A laughingstock or a painful embarrassment. And man shall be just that for the Overman, a laughingstock or a painful embarrassment. You have made your way from worm to man, and much in you is still worm. Once you were apes, and even now, too, man is more ape than any ape.
Whoever is the wisest among you is a mere conflict and cross between the plant and ghost. But do I bid you to become ghosts or plants? Behold, I teach you the Overman. The Overman is the meaning of the earth. Let your will say, the Overman shall be the meaning of the earth. I beseech you, my brothers, remain faithful to the earth, and do not believe those who speak to you of otherworldly hopes. Verily, a polluted stream is man. One must be a sea to be able to receive a polluted stream without becoming unclean. Behold, I teach you the Overman. He is this sea. In him your great contempt can go under. Behold, I teach you the Overman. So what about you, fella? Are you worm? Are you ape? Are you man? Or are you Overman? Do you not seek to be better than your fathers and grandfathers, as they sought to be better than their fathers and grandfathers? As we all seek to be better than those men of ancient times, as they sought to be better than the men who lived in caves? So what is it then that you are doing, man? Tell me, man, what are you doing to be a man? Are you paying your bills? Are you going to work? Are you sitting in traffic? Are you being bossed around by a woman? Are you being bossed around by a teacher? Are you being bossed around by somebody with a municipal name tag? What has happened to you, man? It's a good question. Look down. What's on your feet? Are you wearing flip-flops? Like a child? Look at your son. Is he wearing flip-flops? Like a young girl? Are you wearing trousers? Or are you wearing athletic pants? Like a woman does when she goes to the mall? Did you just come from the gym? Why are you wearing sweatpants then? Why aren't you wearing trousers? Trousers. Men wear trousers. Not pants. Not slacks. Men wear trousers. Men use a belt around those trousers, whether they need that belt or not. Men tuck their shirts in. Are you a bearded man, or are you an unshaved man? There's quite a difference. If you are unshaved, you are a lazy boy. If you have a beard, that's much different. Is your child walking around right now with his face in a digital device? Does he bump into you because he doesn't look up? Because you're letting him play Pokemon when you're in the supermarket? How is he supposed to learn what the world is about if he's looking at a device? Are you teaching him? Who is teaching him? A woman? His school mom? His school mom who only watches certain TV shows? Who only believes in certain political beliefs? Who thinks that everyone should get along, but she herself cannot get along? Look at your body. Man, is your waist wider than your shoulders? Does your belly hang over your belt line? Are you a slob? Are you the fat man at the circus? When you go online, Google fat person, circus, freak show, 1900, and you will see that the fat person, this oddity of 116 years ago, is probably thinner than you and most of your peers. What does this say about you, man? Were you mocked out of the gym because you look like Rambo? Did you ever go to the gym? Were you convinced that only bullies and ignorant men have muscles? Look at your hands, man. Are they hard? Are they calloused? Are they cracked? Is there dirt under your fingernails? Or are they soft and smooth like a woman's hand with no calluses because you do not do any labor? Are your nails manicured like a woman's? Man, come now. How about you, young man? Are your eyebrows manicured like a woman? What's the matter with you? Why are you sashaying around in public in sandals and baggy shorts? Do you think you could push a car that had broke down wearing those sandals? Do you think you could run to someone's rescue in a building wearing those flip-floppy little sandals? You cannot. What you are is a man with cut feet. You walk around like a peasant, like a coolie.